Hello, Serge here from the backyard with my new net that I just recently purchased, and between given dailies it gives me a chance to come out here and swing off and on now and then when I got a few free minutes, and can even do it in the dark since the back porch is right there, and I can put the floodlights on and get a little bit of light here, and with the light from the garage, so I could actually practice in the evening when it cools down. But today I want to talk, or at least maybe tell a little bit of a story. And I think it has a lot of meaning to the fact of how we can get better at playing golf. And recently at a golf school, when we got to the short game section, which we always start off on chipping, I go chipping, and then we move back to pitching because the pitch shot is built off the chip shot, and then we'll end up at the bunker. When we had a student that was admitted that they were very poor in their entire short game, except putting. They said they were a good putter. And that's true. And so when we got into the chipping, and naturally the setup determines the motion, the big problem was right there in the setup. Ball position was off, and the arm position to the body was off, and that just lent it to everything from chunks to thins and skulls and whatever. And so we got the setup fixed up, and then we started working on the swing. And the key was that this player broke down consistently a lot, because with the ball too far back they were kind of scooping it up in the air. And so once we got them in the proper setup and worked on the chip shot where we maintained the fact that the head does not pass the hands, I started off by putting a tee in the back of the club here and use the concept of my drill where I say, make believe this is the gauge, the needle on a gas gauge. Your forward arm is full, and you want to keep that gas gauge on full. You never want it going back towards empty. And so that was a good thing there to teach the chip. And they were still having a little trouble with that, so I actually took it out, and I have these little white sticks that I stick in here, like the poles on a bicycle flag. I have some of those cut down, or in fact I even got some by going to one of the discount, the big home improvement stores and buying those little poles like you can stick reflectors onto your driveway, and I cut those to about 2 feet, and I stick it in the club, and when it's in the golf club, if you break down, it taps you right in your ribs, and that really helped. And so when this student was starting to hit the ball better, the comment came that, boy, I think I could get really good at this and maintain it if I just use the putting green in my backyard that I have, where I can chip on it. And I said, wow, putting green in your backyard, that's pretty cool. And I said, I wish I had one of those. And I said, because man, I'd be out there all the time, because back where I live, there isn't one good short game practice area open to the public anywhere that I can go and practice. And I said, so my short game practice is only when I try to go out late in the afternoon or in the evenings after dinner where there's not too many people, so I can go out there when not much traffic. I can stay by a green and chip and pitch and hit bunker shots or whatever, and stay there for maybe 20, 30 minutes or whatever. And I said, that's all I got. But man, if I had one of those in my backyard, I said, I'd be out there as often as I could. And I mean, how great would it be? I said, if I had lights, I'd be out there till I went to bed at night. I'd be out there forever. And the comeback was, well, I got lights out there too. I said, wow, how pure is that? And I said, and they said they almost never use it. I said, well, I made them put their hand up and swear that they were going to go out there and start using that putting green. So after we ended up doing the chipping and the pitching, and we went to the bunker, this same student got in the bunker, and again the bunker shots were really poor because of bad ball position and everything else. We fixed that all up, and boom, started hitting some pretty good shots. And that same person said, well, I guess I need to go out there, and after I chip and pitch, I ought to have my sandwich and go in my bunkers over there and hit some bunker shots. I said, what? She says, yeah, I got bunkers. I got a couple bunkers out there too. I said, so you got a pitching green, a putting green that you can pitch and chip to, and you got a bunkers you can hit bunker shots from. I said, there's no way you cannot become a short game wizard. And that's I guess the overall message I want from this. This golfer hit decent golf shots, fixed the swing up, and got even better. But the point was, the biggest thing dragging down their golf game, their score, was just poor short game around the green. And they had their own practice area in their own backyard. Now actually this was one of those synthetic greens, and they're good because they can make those synthetic greens putt as fast as you want or as slow as you want. These new synthetic greens now, who knows, we might start seeing them on real golf courses because they don't have to mow them. But these things are great. I mean, a lot of the tour players have them. I'm talking to DJ about getting one out at his farm where he goes out there and spends some time because he goes hunting and everything else, and so he can practice out there without having to drive all the way back into town. And I think there's a good chance he's going to put that in the end of this fall after the tour season when he goes out there and can get somebody to come in. So key is, if you want to be a short game wizard, you have to practice. And the beauty of it is what? This is not really about strength. Not everybody can drive the ball 250, 260, 280, whatever. So whatever you're able to drive it, that's it. But short game is about touch. And I tell everybody in my short games, I can give you the technique. I can give you the technique, but I can't give you the touch. And the only way you can get the touch is to go out and do it. So if you got your own short game area in your backyard, holy cannoli, take advantage of it. You got the cat's meow there. You got to just have to walk out the back door. But if not, get to your golf courses, get to your driver range that have short games areas, and hit some balls, but get to that short game. And I'd almost like to say, if you really want to get better, and I know it'll happen, whatever you hit on the range, double or triple it on the short game. So if you hit 50 balls out there, you want to chip or pitch for 50, 150 balls here. And if you want to do it by time, if you spend 30 minutes there, spend at least double time here and chip and pitch and get those bunker games, and you'll be shooting those lower scores that you know you can shoot. And that's what golf's all about. Shooting lower scores, playing to the best of your ability, and it happens when you become a short game wizard. That's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking to y'all again soon.